When Clemson offered you, did they offer, because they're typical for they offer a little bit later than most schools, right? So they were communicating with you before they offered you? Or was it like once you got that offer, it kind of started picking up?
They didn't communicate with me. I had came up here to visit spring of my sophomore year.
Okay.
So I came up here to visit, talked to them, had a great conversation with all of them. Then I went to camp in June, and so I'm up here again, and they told me, Coach Venables told me there was only one offer or they had told me when I was on my visit, they said there's one offer for defensive ends. So I'm like, all right, well, I didn't quite know what it meant. Like I knew, but I was like, all right, well, I've never heard that before, so like we'll see if it's true. So I just kept working, and I would text them, and they wouldn't respond, but I'd text them, like Coach Venables, my position coach, Coach Ski, and I would just send them updates. I came to camp, and they told me they were like, all right, like you're the guy that we're planning to offer, so like you're good, like we're gonna get you at some point, but like they just couldn't do it yet because of roster space. And then they offered me in July, and they just told my high school coach, they told him to let me know to call him. So like everything was by the book, and I called them, and they offered me, and then like once September hit, like I talked to them regularly. But yeah.
What was it like getting that offer? Because I know Clemson was a school that like you visited a lot. You obviously had a lot of interest in. So when you got that call that you got an offer, were you excited?
I was super, super excited. It was more of like a relief. I think my parents were probably more excited than I was because it was the one that I wanted. Yeah. Because I had been up here to visit numerous times and just like loved it from like the first second I got here. I loved Coach Venables and the coaching staff. So yeah, I was super, super excited. Yeah. And more of a relief just knowing that like I trusted the process, and like they had told me like there's only one spot, but they gave it to me. So, it was really cool. Yeah.
So bringing up Coach Venables, I was reading that I guess your mom went to high school with him, right?
Yeah, they grew up together.
Did that make you feel more comfortable about Clemson just because you knew that at the time the defensive coordinator had somewhat of a relationship with your family?
Yeah, a little bit. So when I came here to visit my going into my sophomore year that summer, I came up that was the first time I'd come here for the camp. And we saw Coach Venables like at the check-in and all that, and talked to him for a long time, like because of my mom and him, because they went to the same high school. I think there were a couple of years difference in age, but they went to the same high school. And I think he used to hang out with my mom's brother a little bit, so my uncle. So yeah, there was just a connection there, and like from the minute that I met him, like he was always like real personable, and like and kind of took me under his wing in the recruitment process and stuff like that. So yeah, he played a big part in me coming here and my relationship with the staff and stuff like that.
I'm sure that also helped like embody like you hear it with no matter what, Clemson's a family, right? Yeah. So I'm sure that really like in a sense showed that Clemson family, right?
Yeah, it definitely resonated. It did for sure. And then all the other coaches too treat you the same way. So that the culture that was the biggest thing and why I came here.
Yeah. So when you did make that decision to go to Clemson, would you say that is because of that culture, because of just how they treated you? Is that kind of what separated them?
The culture for sure. I mean, I visited numerous other schools, but this by far had the best culture. And then like it was like the culture, and then like they like in addition to that, it's like we win football games. We got a great facility, a great campus, like a great area. So it's like everything just added on top of each other. It was like perfect.
So being in it, I mean, I have to ask, like, what like. I mean, as a student at Clemson, I understand like the family culture of like, at least for me, I feel like when I'm talking to students or professors, it's like they want me to be the best person like of myself, not like some other reason. Right. But from like I guess in that football locker room with the players and with the coaches, and even with the professors, like what is that culture like to you?
No, it's basically just exactly what you said. I mean, they push you every day to be the best version of yourself. Coach Sweeney talks about that like constantly. Yeah. He's got like a bunch of sayings like that everybody like has memorized now. But Sweeneyisms, you know about them. But yeah, they push you to be the best you can be like through like every aspect of the program, like strength and conditioning, the coaching staff, the nutrition staff, the training room staff, like everybody does. So like holistically, it's that same thing, just pushing you to be the best you can be every day, getting 1% better every day. Yeah. Like investing in yourself. Is what we talk about a lot. So yeah, I think everybody kind of embodies that. Yeah.
So a cool story I was kind of reading about was when you decided to like commit commit to Clemson, you waited to do it in person, right? Like with Coach Sweeney there and everyone there. So what was that whole like day lead up, and why'd you decide to do that?
Yeah, so that was a pretty cool story. So they offered me in July, and they didn't have a roster spot yet, but they wanted to just like let me know like I was the one that they were gonna offer.
Yeah.
So they offered me. They told me I couldn't commit yet, which I was fine with. I was gonna wait as long as possible. I think I could have committed in like November or maybe December of that year, 2019. But they were having a junior day, or like our elite junior day in like late January. It was January 26th or the 25th, 26th. And I think I had kind of just decided I want to like wait to commit like in person, like with the staff, and like just kind of have it a big deal, have my family there. Yeah. So I just thought that would have been more cool. So yeah, leading up to that day, I was excited. I was ready to go. It was definitely felt more comfortable going up there and like knowing that I was like about to be committed and like part of the family. And they kind of like treated me like I was part of the family already, because they had told me I had the offer and all that, and they knew I was going to commit basically. So I went through the day, went through the visit with my family and stuff, and then went to Coach Sweeney's office like late in the afternoon, 3 or 4. Talked to him for about 30 minutes, and then he was like, gave me the whole spiel about Clemson again, and he was like, so like, just want to make sure you're like 100% like ready to commit. He's like, are you ready? And I was like ready like before we even walked in the door. So yeah, I told him, I was like, yeah, I'm 100%, I'm locked in. And then like he like jumped up, like jumped in there and started yelling, and like Coach Venables was in there, and Coach Ski, my position coach, and like my whole family. So yeah, it was a pretty big deal.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I always hear like about those stories when the coaches find out, they just get like so hyped up. Like, do you think the coaching staff was more excited about you committing than you were about officially being committed?
Probably because like I knew I was gonna do it. But they were super hyped up. Coach V and Coach Sweeney for sure. Were super excited. So. Yeah.